yet.
He's a tech-savvy guy, gonna show you the way. You better load your bags, cause crypto's here to stay. Listen up, gonna teach you about this and that. But he's just a goofy guy in a straw hat. So join in and have a laugh. It's gonna be a good time, that's a fact. Information and crypto parodies. Sit back and enjoy the show. You just never know which way you'll go. So get ready for Digitspin Crypto.
Hey! Oh, that's a little loud. Okay, let's lower it down. It's Dino, Digitspin Crypto. I'm a little tall today, ain't I? That's alright, it's all good stuff. Now, keep in mind, this is Digitspin Crypto. My name's Dino. I'm not your financial advisor, so don't pretend that I am. Let's make sure I can get the chat. You guys let me know if everything's good on the audio, because I hate doing a show and nobody heard me whatsoever. It's always a bummer. So we're gonna chat a little bit today, and we're gonna talk about Electroneum specifically today. We'll have a little bit of fun. We have some exciting things going on. Electroneum price, and the big part about it is, yeah, it's up 100% in the last 24 hours. Holy smokes. You guys have got to be pretty excited out there. I know it's always good to, find out your holdings have doubled overnight. So I'm sure all of you are definitely excited about all this. I see a lot of folks in the chat. We're going to want to take a look at it and see how this is going along and what we think might happen here going forward. Is this just new and exciting? Now, a couple quick things. Let me get some housekeeping out of the way. Obviously, down below in the description, there's the Telegram channel for Digitspin Telegram. It's free, and we talk about and chat about Electroneum and other coins. Also, if you're in the Telegram channel and you want to be live on the show via voice only, you can go into Telegram and you can activate the voice chat. You'll be able to hear behind the scenes what's going on, and you'll be able to talk live on the show if you want to do that. If not, I'll just take your chats and we'll discuss them via chat. But if you are that excited and you want to go woohoo live on the show, just connect to the chat on the Telegram channel and just speak up anytime that you'd like. All right. See a lot of you guys out there. We got Crypto Mans out there. Good to see you. The Wood Division champs out there. Michael's out there, who's always excited about Varus, which of course I am also. Varus is a good project. We got Phoenix out there. Phoenix Rising. Keith. Michael Stewart. We got... let's see who else. We got a few others that are also out there but have not chimed in, so I'm not gonna. We got well over 30 people watching. We can tell by the where is it? Right there, the little 30 number. When it works good. It lets us know how many people are watching the show. I get a little live update, and then of course I'm running the live chat right out on the screen, so you guys can see that stuff coming through. All right, so let's take a quick look. And somebody, Stuart. Oh, Stuart's out there. He says, "Give a shout out to Lloyd." Let's see if we can put that up on the screen here. He says, Stuart goes, "Hey Dino, can you give a shout out to Lloyd Cryptmas on Twitter? He released an interesting tweet the other day comparing ETN, ADA, which is Cardano, XRP, and EOS. Now seeing playing it out. Yeah, it's a nice tweet, and basically it's the common backing of that tweet is that, you know, Electroneum, the sat price being as low as it is. We were just discussing this a few days ago on the Digitspin crypto Telegram channel, that when it pops, the sat price can go up dramatically because it's so low. It can compound very quickly. And me and Crypto Man were telling everybody on Telegram, I think it was just yesterday, yesterday or the day before, that when this thing pops, it's going to go real fast, and that's what exactly happened. 100% in 24 hours, which is pretty exciting. Let's see if I can move me. For some reason, I'm in the middle of the screen. I don't know why. The video gods kind of just place me wherever they want. I'm not sure why that happens. Oh, let's up and down. Let's go this way. There we go. I like being in the corner. So you guys can see what's going on. I know it's more important than looking at me. That's for sure. So I've been keeping my eyes out on Bitcoin and Ethereum, and it's always exciting and it's thrilling to see all that happen. But I tell you, when Electroneum makes a move, it gives me a tingling sensation in my leg. Yeah. And no, I didn't pee in my pants. That's for sure. So I had noticed this yesterday. We ticked into the green, which is this is a series of plugins that I have, indices, and it gives me a little bit of feedback, and this ticked into the green. Even though it was on its way down, it ticked into the green, showing the cycles should bring the price up. I started looking to try to buy it at that 50 cents, and half a penny, and it is what it is. And then the price did start to go up, and this is it's been pretty good and reliable as far as a functional meter or marker to let me know when there should be a tick up. And I wasn't so positive about it till it started to reach about here, and I started to see it climb, and we were staying above the moving average trend line, and this is continuing green. Now, we did go parabolic, and this is the 1 hour charts. We did go parabolic, and you can see there's been a fight throughout the whole process. You can see the candle wicks on each one of these closes, and the candle wick, and then we got this one here, and so this hasn't been easy. It's clearly been the bulls and bears are definitely beating each other to death. As the price goes up, the bears are trying to sell it out. They're trying to push the price back down, get rid of their coins, but this favorable momentum is just kicking their ass. And there's no other nice way to say it. This favorable momentum is just buying up the coins and bringing it to bear. And quite frankly, I'm looking at the MACD. We've really just kind of started here. We're staying, we've been staying green in this whole 24-hour period. We're getting a parabolic move. Normally you would tend to see this hit up and then do a retracement, and at some point there will be a retracement. The issue is that I don't think this is over. I think there's still some more room to go here. I think there's still some more profit to be made for folks that have been following Electroneum, that have been keeping it on the side, just waiting for it to, show a little muscle, show a little skin, put on the bikini or whatever it does. And, once you start to see this trading, if it's on their wavelength and they're keeping their eyes out for it, you're going to see them get involved. And again, at some point it definitely will retrace to a certain point, but I just don't think this is over yet. I think there's a lot more that can go forward. on this. So that's just my personal opinion in this matter. You know, I can only look at the chart and take a look and see where we're going. If I take this into the 4 hour, you can see here we still got a nice momentum, upward momentum. You can see that the 4 hour close held a nice solid candle. That means this here was clearly just a complete, you know, beat the heck out of the bears. Here we're starting to get a wick, but we do have a half hour still before the close. So this here, if this closes up at that 37, we're gonna move up again. You know, if it can bring up this this candle and bring it back up, we're gonna keep going. So that'll be pretty exciting. It's nice to see Electroneum starting to get a little recognition in the monetary sense for what it's all about. As we, you know, all of us that follow Electroneum clearly know it's just severely undervalued, and that's why we've been holding on to those coins. We know things are going to turn around at some point for Electroneum. It happens. And we'll see. The big key here is, you know, will that money stay and hold in there? Now, there's always a percentage that are going to bail out as soon as they think it has a blow off top, and then it'll retrace that 28% or what have you, 17 or 28%, and then hopefully it'll hold. Now, when I was looking back, it held pretty well for a while, and the last time it went up, it was the last month or so, and hang on one second, and then you know, and then it started to fade a little bit, going down with Bitcoin just continuously going up. Now, you know, if we take a look at Bitcoin, we're in a static pattern with Bitcoin. It's just bouncing around. Clearly, there are folks that are selling it and keeping it at certain levels and maximizing. You know, you got the FT pools and the folks with the surpluses of Bitcoin, and they're cashing them in. Clearly before here, it looks like they were cashing in and working on a you know, basically a short, putting money into a short and letting it drop and making money on both ends of it. But you can clearly see there's some volume on there, and you'll see these drops where somebody will dump a good chunk of coins. Let me bring it over here and bring it down and let it build up, and they drop it again. So they're kind of sawtoothing this, hitting a magic number that they believe, you know, is where they want to try to keep it. So when Bitcoin has a tendency to do this, you're going to see some of that money get transferred into alts, and this is, I think, what we're seeing. If we go to, let's say, CoinGecko, let's bring that up real quick. I bet you the alts are doing just generally better. So, for some reason it's a little slow, but we got what, 1%, 7%. This doesn't right market cap. So, you know, we're seeing you know, reasonable 24-hour lists with this. You know, this in the last week or so, obviously Bitcoin's been doing really well at 25%. But you know, Cardano has just been smoking it. They've been definitely doing very well. It's shocking, especially for a project that's not even actually live yet. It's close to live, but it's not live yet. It's not even a functional project. Binance Coin's been smoking it. Stellar, the Doge guys are still hanging in there at 7 cents. It's shocking anybody pays 7 cents for Doge, but God bless them. Cosmos is up there. Tron's finally getting a little action. Avalanche obviously has been really kicking it. IOTA, which I haven't heard much about in a long time. We'll have to keep an eye on that. I was looking at the graph. They were doing pretty well. I was looking on Coinbase. But yeah, you're going to see a lot of this money going from Bitcoin. I don't want to see here. Do they have the dominance? Let's take a look. I can't even pull up the dominance chart here. I probably have to go to CoinMarketCap to get that. It doesn't appear to be here. But I think that's basically what we're having. If Bitcoin was to launch, I have a feeling that if Bitcoin was to launch, it would kind of slow down our opportunity here for Electroneum. So we'll keep an eye on this. This has been pretty exciting to watch. And I'm going to get to some of your questions in a few seconds. I'll bring that up real quick. And we'll take a look at that. And I'll try to answer any of your questions that you have. I do want to bring up... where is it? Electroneum did announce their... or release their... their weekly... They tried to do a weekly thing. They've been pretty consistent with that. I think they've only haven't done one, but this has been pretty good. The background on Electroneum, and the team has been, obviously working hard from remote facilities, at meaning their homes and what have you, due to the space bug. It's giving everybody a hard time. And here this has been pretty exciting. Behind the scenes, Electroneum department's putting together some very interesting and promising deals with other crypto blockchain projects, fintechs, and mainstream businesses. So this is good news to see that not only are they working on the upgrades to the app, they're putting some. I saw some tweets that went out from Jonathan, and they were talking about how they're going to be, upgrading the app and putting that all into place. And what they're doing is that they're building interaction with the Electroneum background and the app, so that third-party websites will be able to create hooks and interact with the core of Electroneum and your screen a lot more effectively. And this is mainly because they found out, as they're starting to build any task and really adding new features to it, and they're working on other cool projects, they're finding out that it'd be great if the app kind of told you what's going on, or gave you an update based on it. So it's great that we can go to the website, and you can log in via your Electroneum ID and things like that. And so they had to build a lot of this into the Electroneum app, so that the websites can interact. And so when you get a project, or a project's winning, boom, it notifies you on the Electroneum app. And so they've built a lot of tool sets, it looks like, that's allowing vendors or other websites to be able to interact with you better, communicate with you better. And these tool sets are going to be very valuable to other third parties that are going to be building websites. So I'm pretty excited to see this toolkit, to see the series of APIs and what have you that you can call to see what else it brings to the table, to be able to interact directly with the Electroneum environment. So expect to see a lot of that good stuff. But the neat thing is that we're seeing that they're still working on other blockchain projects, interacting with other projects. You see little tidbits from Jonathan, sometimes Ali, talking about, hey, we want to make this bigger, we want to make this better. We're still shaking and grooving and trying to make these deals happen. Our interactions, our ETN used with other projects, other games, other ways to spend your Electroneum, use your Electroneum. And so that's going to be good, which will be in the fintech category, which are off and on ramps and mainstream businesses. Tremendous amount of work, progress is going on, and most of which they can't talk about yet. And so we'll have to wait to hear, what these things end up being. But Jonathan's pretty clear that they're got a lot of work that they're still putting together, a lot of meetings I'm sure that they're working with. What I can say is that we have a lot taking place with the integration between Electroneum and Anytask, which will translate into other applications, and a lot of collaboration discussions. And this is what I was just talking about previously, getting the Electroneum app, phone app, to interact and have access to these websites where they can talk to it and give you feedback and maybe do other things. And Electroneum's really trying to, with Jonathan Marriott, they're trying to get into the NFT space. They want Anytask to be the place to go to get your NFTs created. Hire an artist there to make your NFT artwork so that it can be used. So that's pretty exciting. And of course they're saying, hey, if you got drawing, painting, illustration, animation skills, sign up to be a seller. So if you're a freelancer, you definitely want to be on Anytask and earn yourself more money than you would in the other sites like Fiverr. I use Fiverr, I use Anytask. I'm pretty excited about them. And you can earn more because there's no fees against you on Anytask, where the other sites kind of take money from both sides. they grab it from the sales, they grab it from you, the artist. And let's see here. Obviously, Jonathan Lowe is talking about additional tech improvements, which is exciting. They made changes to enable the user's ability to upload multiple files at once on Anytask, which is a great upgrade. And I also would say that the file types, if I get an object file or something made from a 3D, I noticed I had some problems to get that to download. It would try to send it to me as a text file because it's an ASCII file, but it's a series of code, and I needed it. So sometimes I have to have the guy send it to me directly instead of through the system. So I'm glad to see them working that. Just it'll make the team even that much better. Jordan, she said that the team's working on a few other features. We're enabling users on Anytask to switch between multiple currencies so that they can see how much they're making locally, which is very useful to the vendor. They're recruiting. I saw that they had, here it is, Electroneum Careers. There was a couple of new positions that were open. Obviously, there were some developers, and then I think there was a product manager for Anytask. You want to take a look at that if you have some skills, and you might be able to work directly for Electroneum or Anytask, which is pretty neat. So, and then you have your statistics. So we got 4.15 million registered users, which is pretty sweet, and 2.8 downloads, and that's the good stuff. All right, yeah. Let's take a couple of questions. If you guys are listening on the Telegram channel and you're in the voice chat, just feel free to speak up at any time if you'd like to chime in. and ask a question. All right, so let's see what we got here. Let's go to the text chat. Let's see what you guys are all about. So we got Dave's out there, Buzz is out there, Timo's out there, Jason's out there, Jason Jackson's Never Give Up, Stephanie, C. Jackson, and Scotty Man, or Scotty AM. Electroneum Philippines is out there. Good to see you. Right, I think I hit a lot of them. Obviously, feel free to start putting in your questions now, because I'm not sure I'll be able to go back to all of them that are prior. All right, so Crypto Man, he's saying, I want to see $35 by March. that's a pretty tall tell. Yeah, you know, if it hits $35 by March, it's going up even further. Hey, see, we're getting some retracement here. You can see the battle. It's they're trying to push it back down. We're seeing a little bit on the negative to pull it back down. Let's see if this continues or if we're able to push it back. It'd be interesting to watch. I'm gonna change this to the let's change this to like the 15-minute so we can kind of see this stuff a little bit live here, a little bit better. There we go. We'll do a 5-minute. So we got a temporary drop back in the last 15 minutes. You can see here we've dropped from 37 down to 25, but we're starting to get a recline from there. So we'll just keep that. We'll keep that in the background there. All right. Let's see here. Dave's saying, yeah, I'd settle for 35 cents. 30. You know, there's no reason in my mind whatsoever why Electroneum, you should not be this, you know, equal in price as XRP by any stretch of the imagination. It's just it doesn't make any sense why it's not. And it's basically because not that many people know about it, and what they may or think that they know is completely wrong, and so they don't even give it an opportunity or chance to look into, you know, what it's all about until it starts making gains. And of course, you know, there'll be a lot of projects making gains, but with all of the valuable assets that are based around Electroneum, the advertising that they're putting in place, the eventual U.S. exchanges that we would expect to see opening up, you know, there's going to be a lot more awareness for Electroneum, and those folks that have been holding it, they've been through a lot. You know, we've taken it in the shorts. We've had some pretty good, you know, opportunities. We had a 3-cent deal one time, you know, 1 cent and a 1 cent. So it's nice to see it, you know, pop and stick and move. But we'll see why it's going on. Michael Thomas says, "Hey, well, why do you think it's pumping with no new news?" Well, I think it comes down to a couple of things. Like I was saying before, one is that when you see Bitcoin stagnate, you see this here sideways action going up and down. People get a little nervous. They think that there may be some retracement here. And the truth of the matter is, let's take a look at Bitcoin. All right. So if I was to do a quick read on this, all right, on the 4-hour, all right, we're definitely in a what's supposed to be a downward trend, and we're in negative territory on the MACD. And the fact of the matter is that it should be going down, and the fact that it's kind of going sideways is telling me that there's a lot of buying pressure still here that's able to peak it up. You know, people have set in their mind that, hey, it's worth this. So when it gets sold down, it's being bought back up, and you can see every one of these candles have a wick on both sides, so the price has just been going back and forth. So this here tells me that we're gonna have another breakout. That's once this series once this MACD moving average gets down here a little bit further, I would say, what's today? Today's we got the 12th, the 13th. It'll probably come in somewhere around here. I'd say in 2 days, by Sunday or sooner. I'm thinking around Sunday. I think we're gonna see this move, and let's verify that by looking at the daily. If we look at the daily, here's the other point to this. The daily is on a downward swing, but as far as the moving averages, it's still an open upward territory. So even though this oscillation, this downward, there's becoming more selling pressure, and theoretically this oscillation should come back down. It should cause a cross on the moving average, and it would come back down. However, with that 1 hour moving the way it is, and it's the price being held up, I'm not so sure that this is going to happen, or this will oscillate down here low and stay in the green, and it's going to come back up in the green. And that's my thought on the matter. We do have a little ability to go a little bit higher, so I think we'll start to see something happen, whether if it's gonna either fall or it's gonna climb on Sunday. And it tends, under current circumstances, it's tending to leave me with the idea that it could go up. If you got people dumping Bitcoin, it's gonna obviously cause a change, but as it's floating here, people are selling it off, and this is how, and it's the same with Electroneum. When stuff like this happens, it transfers those coins from the people that don't want them anymore, the people that are going to hold on to them and hodl them. Especially, a lot of you guys who may have bought them at a few cents. There's no reason why you'd want to dump them at half a penny. You're gonna hold on to them. You're gonna want to see it, so they get locked up until that period happens, and then you make the decision to move out of it, or it's in a nice enough trend where you want to hold on to it. So let's take a look at the 1 hour again. So as far as Electroneum is concerned, we're still above our moving average in a nice gap. We got a little bit of retracement here coming back, so it's going. Now the answer to your question is, I think it's extra cash laying around. There's a lot of people that have made a lot of money in Bitcoin, and I think they're moving some of that muscle around, seeing what they can find. And it's that time of the season to start to see some of these coins go up. That's my personal opinion. But could be anything. Could be anything. All right. Let's see. Phoenix, you'll be okay. I think ETN has the math equation figured out, and it's really exciting. The sky's the limit. Well, Phoenix thinking that it's gonna rock and roll. Yeah, I think we have the opportunity here to see a little bit more, and I'd like to see it stick in that range. Electroneum has a tendency of either wanting to go up or down, or when it goes sideways, I'd like it to be at a higher level than that 0.5, and we've been doing that. And if we take a look, if you go to CoinGecko and we take a quick look at this, the trend, I think we came to a point where the SAT value, let's go in here to ETN, the SAT value kind of saturated and got to a point where it wasn't going to go any further down, and it basically causes the price to start to go up. If we take a look at the last 90 days, if it wants to give that to me. All right, so you see that it's been pretty much 0.5 cents forever. You get a little pop here and there, and here we're getting a nice little pop also. But if you take a look at the BTC trend, the SAT trend, and we'll kick this down to 30 days. You'll notice here that, you know, we were on that downward trend, and we got to a certain point where it just didn't make sense for it to go much lower. And what ends up happening is when the sats get to a point where it's you know, just too good, you know, that 10 sat type of range is too good to pass up, people start you know, picking it up. And basically what ends up happening is that it becomes like a floor, and then it bounces off like a video game. And you know, we've been since February, the beginning of February, on an upward climb in SAT value, which has been pretty exciting. And of course you can see here the SAT value just went ballistic with this up. Now this is going to come back down, but I'm expecting this SAT value to continue to grow. And the SAT value basically gives you a multiplier on the value of what Electroneum's value will be. You know, if it stays at 10 sats and the price of Bitcoin goes up, then the price goes up. But if you start adding sats to it, I don't know if you play pinball and you got your score and everything, but you get the 3x multiplier. Well, you know, if your sats go up at the same time that the Bitcoin price is going up, holy smokes. All you see is smoke behind you, you know, the thing just rockets. And that's the, you know, what you wanted to see happen. And this is the reason why Crypto Man and I were telling everybody on the Telegram channel, you know, when this starts to move, it's going to go real quick. Mr. Silverpants says he's holding on to Electroneum for a while. And he goes, and I just sold him a few days ago. Oh, when that happens, I've had that happen to me. It's like the worst feeling. It's like, you know, I got bummed out. I bought Polka Dot at like $2.25. I got a decent bag of it. And there's not too many places you can buy it, but I got it on when it hit Binance right off the bat, and I was really excited, and it went up to like $9, and I was like, all right, this is gonna crank and everything, and then it came back down to like $8, and Binance finally caught on to me, and they said, yeah, you're not allowed to use our exchange, so you got to close out your stuff and get it off. You got 5 days to do it. So I was like, all right. So I moved off my coins, and I had these polka dot coins, and I was like, hey, well, I'm up. I'm up. I did pretty good, and I wanted to set up the wallet and move them off and put them in the wallet, and I was just like, I'm just gonna liquidate them and move it with the Bitcoin off the thing and get rid of it. And I got rid of a ton of polka dot that. For every $500 I put in, it would be worth $5,000. So I'm like, son of a bitch! It's like $28 now. What are you gonna do? I had to get them off, and I didn't have time to go research and set up a wallet and all that other stuff. So I just like, screw it. I sold them, and I was like, I'm up. I've tripled my money already. And if I held on to it for another 3-4 weeks, I would have like 10 times or 12 times my money. But you can't get too greedy. It just kind of happens that way. What are you gonna do about it, right? Let's see here. So Crypto Man say, I'm willing to bet a lot of old GTN YouTube supporters are going to come out of the woodwork. Everyone remember, Dino has been here the whole time. Never wavering, even through personal hard times. Yeah, I wish I could do more shows. I used to like doing a couple a week and everything like that. And there was a time I was doing them every night at 9:30, and I did enjoy that. But I'm a little up to my eyeballs at the moment, and it's been so slow. So I've had my business, and we've been trying to consolidate, and I've got everything down, and and I've got projects I'm trying to do with the staff that we can afford. So we're running behind on projects, and now you know, February, March, you know, that the end of February to like May, June is my busy season usually, and I wasn't expecting much, but we're getting a lot of quotes out there. That doesn't always translate into purchase, but we are closing more deals than, and so now I got work coming out of my ears, and and a little bit of I'm gonna have to go bring in another person to help out. I don't have enough people now to do the work, and yeah. What are you gonna do? Dave Enger goes, hey, is there any new exchanges coming? Well, what I can tell you regarding that is that in the past, the staff from Electroneum made it very clear that their intentions were to apply for some exchanges here in the States, and that they were working hard to do that. They were waiting. There's when you get to the States, the SEC, you know, is hiding behind every bush and pops out like a boogeyman, and you know, and tries to scare people and shake them down for a few dollars and all that other good stuff. So the exchanges, it's like when XRP got, you know, sued by the SEC. First thing the exchanges, you know, they dropped that, they dropped XRP like a hot potato, and they suspended trading, or they got rid of it, or what have you, and you know, because they don't want the SEC in their shorts. So, you know, it's going to be one of those. So the part of the deal is now to get listed. If you've been a crowdsource or an ICO, you have to get some kind of a legal opinion letter that this exchange, if they get, you know, peed on, that they can go, well, no, wait, you know, we have a legal opinion that says you're wrong there, Mr. SEC. This is not a security. It's been vetted to be not as such, and because they're not going to want to, you know, cause any problems. Projects that were community, that started from zero, they were only community projects, don't have that problem. However, those projects, there's thousands of them, but the competition for that is so great that it's really going to be tough for them to, you know, show value enough to get onto some of these exchanges. So the moral of the story is yes, I'm expecting Electroneum to be on an exchange here in the United States. Yes. We know that Electroneum has worked hard. They have stated as such to make that happen by, you know, getting themselves evaluated by a proper law firm to get a legal opinion letter. So, you know, I would tend to think that these things, based on the tweets that, you know, are out in the public, it's been pretty clear to me that these things are happening or in motion, and I think it's just a matter of time, and I would tend to think it to be closer than later, but that's just my personal opinion. Not anything that we've been told via Twitter or information via Telegram. My empire, we love Electroneum, yeah. Absolutely, especially when it's up, right? We got Paul's out there. How you doing, my friend? It's good to see you. Got yourself a new new picture. Crypto Man says, make sure you guys smash the likes. There you go. And feel free, if you're following Electroneum, you definitely want to subscribe to this channel. I'll bring to you all the best news as soon as possible, and give you kind of a synopsis of where I think that's taking it. So that definitely want to take a look in there. So here we've had a bit of a retrace over the last hour. We're getting close to the closing. So this will probably close in the red. It's moving up as we talk. I'm not so sure they'll be able to push this back up, but it looks like we're getting a little bit of a retracement here for this. So we'll see where that takes us. Obviously, if, for the hour, that will start to weaken the trend and the pressure here. So we may see a little bit of a sideways action or a swoop. Hopefully we'll stay above this moving average, and as long as we're above this moving average, we still have potential to continue to move. And this is not a bad thing here, because this was a pretty violent parabolic move. So if it stays within this green candle here, if this red one can stay within that, I'm pretty excited about that, because that will give us a positive continuation, because we do have the potential to keep that moving and going forward. All right. Smash the likes, Crypto Man says. That's right. That's what we're talking about. I'm not sure I understand this question here. I says Phoenix is going, is the down node ETN experimenting with DeFi on that node? Is that why node is down for exploration? I don't know what you're referencing. Electroneum doesn't actually have nodes. You have validating. I guess you could call them validating node, but each of the colleges or the NGOs that are participating in mining on the Electroneum, keeping the network up and running, are running a I guess you want to call them a node, but they are validating the permission validation nodes, and basically if they validate a blockchain closure, then they'll get paid. If one of them goes down, it's really nothing significant, unless it's the node that's connecting into AWS or something, or running on that. I don't know. I don't have any knowledge of a node being down, so that, and if it did, it's not going to make any difference. It's just one of many that fill in the difference. All right. Electroneum Philippines. Can you explain more about Dino about what Electroneum explores DeFi? All right, so Electroneum has an issue where it can't actually be directly involved in DeFi, and the reason is that there's no virtual machine. There's no programmability to Electroneum. It's just really a store of value that has some really good hooks and integration. It does that really well. It's a good coin to use to move value around and pay for things and what have you. It functions with that process spectacularly. All right, but there's no programmability to Electroneum, so that leaves a problem there. So the only things that you can do, if you notice people that are using DeFi, they're using the Ethereum network with the virtual machine. They're creating a series of code. You can throw some Ethereum in there, and out will pop a different coin or value, or a taco coin, or so it's like a vending machine. You put your Ethereum in, you get a hot dog, a pizza, some French fries, coins, and then you can hold on to them and move them around and stake them and do things, and then basically you're trading and swapping, and through the contract it can have functionality to do certain things in the process. Now, that can generate value for the people holding them if they get more people to buy them, just like any other coin. The price goes up. Electroneum, being its own, its own chain and no virtual capabilities, it's kind of left outside of that. So how can Electroneum get involved in DeFi? Well, I've thought about it a few times. And some of the things that can be done, there are blockchains out there that are up and coming that you can set up a bridge and an integration into so they have a smart contract. And I'm not going to mention it, but they have the smart contract capabilities, and they have the ability to set up a sidechain to interact with your blockchain. So you could take a coin that does just value, like a Bitcoin or Electroneum, and you can make a bridge that'll allow it to bring it into the environment, and then it'll interact on there, and then because it's a plugin, it'll allows the coin to interact with the others. So basically it finds a common ground. So if this coin's worth less, you need this many to come to this common ground. If it's worth more, it needs to come down, or a fraction of it to come to this common ground. And it finds a pipe where everything could be, it takes the weight of everything and brings it up and down so that they all become equal. And then now you can translate value, you can swap, and you could then move that coin into the virtual machine and have it do something and use it in DeFi. So there are projects out there. I have made suggestions, but the Electroneum team is far smarter than I will ever be, and they know what they're doing, and the devs are looking to create what they can, and there are ways of accepting Electroneum for payment for NFTs. It's no longer an Electroneum. You'll have an NFT on another chain. So if you're buying something on a website, and for example, you got the Crypto Man, and it looks like Richard L's flying through the air. You're basically, you can pay for it with Electroneum, but the NFT is kept on the Wax network, so you have to bring up your Wax wallet to see it, and when you go to sell it, you're going to get Wax for it, that type of thing. These other coins that give bridges and allow you to put your own chains in can give you a lot more functionality. Hopefully, it's kind of cool because coins like Electroneum or Bitcoin can get programmability and DeFi capabilities without having to incorporate it into their actual blockchains, and it kind of bridges it all. It's like an interface where anything that comes in can talk to anything else. All right, so so that's kind of the idea there. Other things that you could do with Electroneum, you could well, if you take a look at where all the DeFi is, you're going to have it on Binance Coin, you're going to have it on Ethereum, which is going to be the big daddy of everything. Binance Coin's doing a lot of transactions, almost equal, but it's like one program that's doing it. So, Ethereum is where the action's at, and where you're going to see all that good stuff coming up. There are other contenders. Once there's at least 3 or 4 other contenders that will possibly also give you that ability. But the fact of the matter, it's on Ethereum. So how do you get Electroneum onto Ethereum so that you can trade it and use it in DeFi products? Let's say I have 10,000 Electroneum, and I want to, sushi swap it for something else, or I want to, invest it so that I can get returns on a lending platform. They don't take Electroneum, so how do we get it into it? Well, the way you can do it is you could go and go into the Ethereum environment, create a contract and called wrapped Electroneum or super Electroneum or whatever you want to call it. All right, and you would be able to then send Electroneum to an address. It would then take it and hold on to it, and then basically issue you a wrapped version of Electroneum. So, if you take a look, you'll see on here, if we go to CoinGecko and we go down the list, you'll see there's Bitcoin 47,524, and if we come down here, we'll see wrapped Bitcoin. All right down here, wrapped Bitcoin 40,570. All right, wrapped Bitcoin is basically Bitcoin that's been put into the contract and then issued a wrapped version, which means it's another coin that's a one-to-one equivalence, and you're basically wrapping that Bitcoin, and now you can use it in the Ethereum. You've basically converted it, or simulated, or you've basically converted it into a product that can function on the Ethereum blockchain. So, which is kind of cool. All right. Now, you obviously can't take wrapped Bitcoin and put it in your Bitcoin address. You have to put it into a wrapped Bitcoin wallet and a wrapped Bitcoin. They're two separate things until you change it back. So you can go send the wrapped Bitcoin back to the contract and then suck out your Bitcoin again. That type of thing. So, that's it. But there's a fee to do that. There's a transaction fee. But, let's say you want to, stake and earn value with Electroneum. So if I was doing it, I would probably find a way to look into that, if that's something that's really important. I'm not sure how many Electroneum users would do it. Most of the Electroneum folks are relatively new, or are not going out there to come up with creative ways to finagle with their Electroneum. They like their Electroneum. I got my Electroneum. I'm keeping it in my wallet, and I'm gonna hold on to it until the sun shines better. And that's they just want the basics with it. But having such a thing will allow wrapped Electroneum to interact in a lot of different ways. It would give opportunity to somebody that says, hey, I'm going to put some money into this and use it. And as it grows, it could give some more gravitas to the core, which is Electroneum itself. These are just all my personal thoughts regarding DeFi. I have no idea if any of this would ever be done, or what even that they're, last we heard from Electroneum is that they're going to look into ways that they could use Electroneum in DeFi products, and that would be buying NFTs, being able to work with smart contracts, or possibly even connect to a smart contract system. And those are really your three options, and I covered all three of them. And I have no knowledge, or have I gotten any feedback to what direction that they may or may not go next year regarding it. I think that they're pretty much, I think it's something, if I was Electroneum, I would think that it's something that would be really cool to do, but I have a feeling that it's not on the top of the priority list. And if they were to do something, it would probably be some simple things just to kind of, get involved. So I would tend to think that they would probably try to have more NFT websites or games and things like that use the Electroneum. I think that brings value, and if they can, if the games would allow them to you know, so a lot of times you send your Electroneum in and they convert it to something else that's used in the game, so you can fuel it or load it. But the Electroneum gets sold to do that. It'd be nice if some of these other projects and games actually used Electroneum as part of the fuel and lets you keep it in a wallet and use it, and then as you earn more Electroneum by playing the game, you can take the Electroneum back out. So for example, Splinterlands, I can send my Electroneum in and it will it'll populate. See, so they use credits. Everything works off of credits. So no matter what you send to it, it converts it to credits and it sells it off. So you can send it Bitcoin, Ethereum, Electroneum. They don't really give a rat's ass. They immediately convert it into credits, and you get X amount of credits. Now you can use the credits throughout the game. There are some wallets that you can incorporate into the game, though, so that you can translate, if you're using Tron or whatever. Some of the dark energy crystals are on the Tron network and things like that, and that's the gist. Is, you know, Electroneum doesn't have a virtual machine. It doesn't have smart contract capabilities. So, you know, do they want to get into the business of, all right, we'll convert this for you, you know, if you want to get paid out on Electroneum? I guess if there was, you know, enough people playing the game and they were like, we want to be paid in Electroneum, or, you know, then it would kind of force them to do a you know, some kind of a swap or a trade and then put it in. But, you know, it's going to cost you. Either way you look at it, somebody's going to be paying the transaction fee. They're going to be taking that off the top. So you're not going to get your full amount of Electroneum, because you're going to have to pay this atomic swap, or whatever you want to call it, the trading swap. And so, you know, you get paid out in dark energy crystals, which are, you know, are basically tokens on the Ethereum network. So if you had wrapped Bitcoin, you would be able to theoretically trade them for some wrapped Bitcoin, and then hold on to, or wrap the Electroneum and hold on to those, because it all works, you know, with these swapping systems. So, you know, much thanks. Right now, the price to do all this stuff, to make these trades, is just astronomical. I mean, you're not going to trade, you know, $10 or $20. You know, so a guy makes $10, you know, playing the game. He's all excited, and he moves it out to dark energy crystals, and he tries to transfer them. He can pay $20 to make the conversion of his $10. You know, how does that make sense? So you're kind of stuck with these dark energy crystals, and, you know, you have to have a big number, and this is where Ethereum has got its problems, and why these other competitors are looking to clean Ethereum's clock. You know, Cardano, Polkadot, EOS, and there are many others, and you know, Tron itself. You know, they want to clean the clock, because, you know, our transaction fees are not gonna, you know, take your hand off at the same time of trying to do it. This is the reason why Splinterlands uses Hive. It's a, you know, they don't charge you anything to use the blockchain, you know, the chain itself. It's basically freemium, you know, that type of thing. So you can put all these transactions out there, and it really don't cost anything. So you can move when you're playing Splinterlands. You can I can sell a card for a penny, you know, and get my penny. You know, you're not going to sell something for a penny on Ethereum, do a transaction, because it's going to cost you $20 to transfer the 1 cent card. It ain't going to happen, you know. And so the game literally couldn't exist without the Hive network, and Hive does a good job. It's really a pretty neat environment. I'm surprised that it doesn't have more value than it does, but it's really super. All right, let's see what else we got there. Yeah, RJ's out there, and he's saying he thinks that only coins that will matter in the future will be usable coins. No more speculation. Yeah, in 2017, I was laughing. I was like, "Ooh, check out this coin! They're gonna deliver things through remote control UAVs, and this guy's selling pizza, and this one here, they're gonna keep your records, your files for your medical records, and this one here is puck coin. You can buy, and there was a coin for anything. You name it. We're gonna make custom socks. A sock coin. It was crazy, and some of them survived. You had what's the game token that survived? It's doing pretty good. I forgot the name of it off the top, but I had some. When I first got in, I was like, this sounds cool. This sounds cool. And then, they were going up and everything. And then, if you didn't sell them off reasonably at the top, within a couple of weeks of that, they just came down and went down, and they won't come back. And there's no use for them. And those projects are gone. You don't even see them on here. The ones that you saw from 2017. It makes you laugh. And there'll be some that'll come up that will also have, this nonsense to them. Point blank. If you ask me, I'm shocked that there's Bitcoin Cash on here, Bitcoin SV. I mean, there's nobody really doing it. There's like 3 people doing stuff with these things, and they bring nothing extra, and people like them. It's because it's got the name Bitcoin on them. It's the same with Bitcoin Gold and Bitcoin Diamond. Dogecoin. I don't know what to tell you. Dogecoin creates 1 billion coins a year. That's the inflation. 1.1 billion coins every year. There's like hundreds of billions of coins. How the hell can it be worth 7 cents? Oh my god. And it's, but you'll see on here, everything that's kind of on this first page has a function, and that wasn't true last time. I'm surprised Neo is not greater than it is, but I'm really happy with my Neo. I squirreled away for a long time. Got it pretty cheap at the time, but I've just been holding on to it, so that's pretty good. Sushi swaps down here. It cracks you up. Some of these things. So everything that's here now, it's, has a function. So I agree with you. There's these crazy nonsense coins I don't think are going to be around anymore. So it's that's just the way it is. Oh, we got crazy people out there. Let's take care of it. We're gonna deal with this here real quick. Oh, somebody already deleted it out. Very good. Thank you. All right. Appreciate that, Paul, for taking out the trash. Paul's right on it, man. He saw a spot on the table and some dirty dishes. He went right over to the dirty dishes, right in the garbage. Yeah, you're all right, Paul. Alright, what's happened to this coin? AML Bitcoin. What's happened to this coin? I don't know about AML Bitcoin. I don't know what you're referencing there. Alright, let's see what else. If I missed any other questions that were down here, there was tons of you guys. Move said, hey, thanks, Dino. Appreciate all those explanations. Yeah, I try my best. They try to get you information about what's out there, what's possible. It doesn't mean that that's going to happen or they're even thinking of it, but these are the possibilities. Let's see. Taking a victory. Let's see where we're going. All right, so we're getting a little bit of a retrace. We're starting to get a. It's as good. It it closed with inside the other candle, so that gives me a lot of excitement there that we're holding a sideways motion. Let's see if this green candle here can grab a little momentum and bring it back up a little bit. But I'm pretty excited still. This is, you know, this can come all the way down to 23 sats and still be bullish. So, you know, we're at 28 sats. If we follow this green line here and this was to come out, you're looking at 21 and a half sats. We can still be around 21 and a half sats and still be bullish. So unless it goes below that and closes below that, I'm gonna stay on this positive trend. I think it's real possible. All right, let's see what else we got here. Garrett saying, "Hey Dino, I'm holding my my Electroneum. I'm not gonna sell it to at least $1." You know, XRP made it to $3.25. You know, it's, you know, you think about it, everything. How I look at it, I start off with, there's no reason why it's not worth what XRP is. XRP is at 61 cents. All right, so in my head, the ability of what Electroneum brings is, I think, is better than XRP. XRP is great. They've got some issues to deal with. They have a good amount of folks that obviously buy them. The problem with XRP is that when you had a bank and they bought 20 or a billion coins, they didn't go to the exchanges and buy it. The guys who owned XRP sold it to one to the table, and then they took the cash and put it in their pocket. And you know, that's really weird to me. So all these purchases never brought the price back up, and to show the value of it. So that it was kind of weird. XRP's got to have, you know, they've got some boxing to do. They've got some stuff that they're going to have to deal with. So, you know, when I look at what Electroneum physically does, in my mind, I don't see any reason why it shouldn't be equal to XRP. But that's, you know, that's my personal opinion. And you know, if XRP can get to $3, you know, don't kid yourself. Anything can happen. And I think that if Electroneum gets onto USA exchanges, I think that'll give them a greater opportunity. You figure you got all these new people getting into Bitcoin, and you know, they're going to Coinbase and they're typing in, you know, I want to buy some Bitcoin. And while they're there, Bitcoin has, you know, Coinbase has what, 18, 20, 25 different coins on there that they're currently selling. People look at it and it's like, well, oh, look at this one here. I could buy a whole coin for, you know, for 2 cents or 3 cents. You know, it'll be worth more. You know, it's gonna go up, and you know, and they buy some of those too because, you know, they think it's a good idea. Now, imagine if you were watching the news and you saw, hey, this is AnyTask, you know, buy our products that are, you know, run by Electroneum, you know, fueled by Electroneum. And they happen to go to Coinbase and they see the Electroneum thing, you know, in the back of their head, they're going to go, oh, I saw that on TV. I want to get some of those, you know. And so I think there's, you know, potential to bring. I think that when the U.S. exchange comes on, depending on what the exchange is, it could significantly change a lot of people's life experience. Let's see here. Renzo Reyes goes, can I mine this on a cell phone? and oh, so Renzo, Okay, so no, there's no longer mining. Electroneum is no longer allowing unpermissioned miners. You have to be of a. It's an open. It's open to the public if you qualified for a particular category. So you have to be an NGO, and I believe that they're working on trying to get. They may have it already. Some colleges and universities involved, and so that they can run a node and a permissioned node, and basically those nodes run the network. And the reason why that was done, I mean, it hurt because I used to mine the heck out of Electroneum. I had a whole bunch of GPUs running it, and then they went to ASICs, and then it's like I got 6 ASICs, and I was mining the heck out of it with ASICs. And the problem they always had though is that you had potential attacks against the environment. And when you had the GPUs, there wasn't enough. Ethereum sucks up all the air. So if anybody's got a card, they're putting it on Ethereum. There's just too much money to be made. And this leaves a lot of other coins at the mercy of somebody spending some money and doing a 51% attack. Look at Ethereum Classic. They got their brains bashed in 3 times. All right. So this is a problem because Electroneum, wanted to be reliable to governments, to businesses, and what have you. And you can't have your environment 51% attacked and double spent. That puts you out of business real quick. So they went to the ASICs, and that worked good for a while. The problem we had with the ASICs is that it was running the original Monero algorithm, and the problem with that is Monero, they built, I don't know, a few 100,000 of these machines. Monero changed their algorithm. They all knew it was going to happen. Everybody was trying to mine it before they did it. And so the ASIC basically became kind of worthless. There's nobody who is creating new coins was going to start off with Monero 8, Kryptonite 8, which is the algorithm itself that Monero was using. And so therefore, and that's the only thing the ASIC could do. So therefore, whatever machines were out in the wild were going to be the only machines ever that were going to mine Monero Kryptonite 8, unless you had somebody create a stream for an FPGA, which could theoretically compete with some of these ASICs. At least have the ability to compete. The GPUs wouldn't have the ability to compete. My ASIC is equivalent to like 200 GPUs, and each one of them. So it's a significant difference. Anyway, so what the problem you had is the folks that had these ASICs were able to own the network. And one of them happened to be F2 Pool. And, F2 Pool on the mining side has been relatively up and up, but they're sneaky, and they would stitch mine, and they would try to control the network. Now here you got Electroneum going, holy smokes, we got a public mine environment that only these existing ASICs could use, and most of them are being run by F2 Pool, and they demanding things from us, and this, that, and the other thing, and it's like, no, I'm sorry, it's our project, not yours. And quite frankly, that's bullshit. And I definitely. So, what are you going to do? And so, it basically, F2 Pool, wouldn't be able to keep this going. The Electroneum had to change it out. So what ended up happening is they went and created this proof of responsibility. So they would get responsible node holders, and it allowed it to bring down the cost of running the network. I mean, all the electricity to run the Electroneum environment, the blockchain, is less than one household of electricity, and and it works pretty good for the most part. And if somebody, like, I can bring the CLI wallet up and activate it as a node. I can set up a key and populate it, and I'll actually find some blocks and close them. But then the proof of responsibility will come up and say, excuse me, you don't have a valid key to be mining, and so you're not getting paid. So I gave it a try. I wanted to see if it worked, and so I set up a node and tried to mine on the network. And it came back and it said, no, sorry, you're not allowed to participate. You can't be part of this. So you're allowed to send your transactions and receive your Electroneum. You're not allowed to mine. So unfortunately, you can't mine on a cell phone. You can't mine at all. But you can buy. I heard the price was going up. So I hope that answered your question, Renzo. There we go. When Weeble and when Robinhood? I don't know. I don't think it'll be on either one of those. Those are more for securities, stocks and what have you. So I would tend to think that that's going to be not there. Okay. All right. Let's see. XRP straight to $3 after settling lawsuit. That's if XRP can beat back the SEC, who has unlimited resources, but XRP's got they've got some cash and they have a lot of people in the know, and I think that they can. From what I understand, they sent. Was it XRP or is it BitMEX? I think it was XRP. They asked for documentation on a particular subject. They sent them like 1.1 million documents. All right. Now that's not pages. All right. That's 1.1 million documents, full of pages. Each one full of pages. They're burying them in so much paperwork that you want to play this game, we're gonna play the game, and I think they buried the SEC with the documents. It's gonna take them like 6 months or so just to go through these documents to see what's in them. It makes me laugh. It gets back to that legal trickery thing I was talking about in that other show. Scotty saying the impending FCA registration is holding back any announcements of partnerships. Do you agree? I would tend to believe that you're probably right, that there are things that Electroneum would like to have happen. There are people that would like to announce something, that they want to work with Electroneum or what have you. I don't know, but I would tend to think that once the FCA registration is completed, that will give a lot more gravitas to Electroneum, and I would tend to think that it would help them on their way to make additional things happen. So I would tend to agree with that. Datadog, is Electroneum's KYC a plus or a minus going forward? Well, when you look at KYC, it's not just KYC, it's KYC and AML, anti-money laundering. And all of the main countries are really putting the screws to this. Know your customers so that they can tell who you are, where this money's coming from, and do you have the ability to actually generate this money. You know, if I'm working at McDonald's, I'm making my $3.95 a week, $400 a week, and I'm trying to deposit $500,000 into my account. Well, there's something wrong. Okay. What bank did you knock off, or who gave you this money? Because there's no possible way that you could have earned it, at age 20 or what have you. So they have to know who you are and to be able to flag you based on the anti-money laundering regulations. And those are those stupid rules when you go to the bank and you try to deposit more than $10,000 worth of cash. If you have a cash business, all of a sudden you got people, in black suits and ties following you around. People knocking on your neighbor's doors. Hey, if you see anything suspicious over there, this guy, and they start looking into it, and they'll confiscate it or they'll hold it until they've identified where this money comes from. And it's tough for people that have cash businesses. Sometimes they've got to go and make deposits, small deposits consistently, than trying to put. And if you try to take money out of, I don't know if any guy's gone to a bank and you try to get, I like $15,000 in cash, and then they're like, well, why? What are you doing with it? It was like, it's none of your freaking business. I'm gonna go light it on fire. It's none of your business. And they start asking you all sorts of questions and everything. You have to like order it like it's a pizza or something in advance and all this other stuff. You just can't do it anymore. You used to be able to walk in and get 10 grand easily. You can't do that. So your question though is it a plus or a minus? All right. So when you have companies that perform services with cryptocurrency, the fifth directive for the European Union, and UK is following a lot of those rules, though they're a little bit more nimble with the FCA. But they're basically, the FCA has stated that, and they've put out the UK rules. If you didn't file in June for an FCA registration, you're not allowed to do business in the UK legally. And if you get caught, they're going to shut you down. All right. So the fact of the matter is that, they did apply. And they're going through the process, it would seem, and because they have, it looks like there's about, I read in a article, there was approximately 100 companies that filed for cryptocurrency for an FCA registration or approval, and keep in mind they're kind of figuring, the FCA is kind of figuring this out at the same time. So the first people doing this are really going to be probably taken into shorts, because it's the first companies to do it, because they're going to go overboard the first time until they actually figure out what they actually need. So this first group of 100 hamsters going through the process, what do they call that when you're guinea pig, the first guinea pigs that go through, they're going to take a beating. It's going to be a lot harder for them, because everybody's trying to figure out how to do it and how to integrate it and how to use existing rules to apply it to a technology that's completely sort of different. And so it's going to be painful for that first 100. That's probably why they closed it up, or that's all they got, and luckily they don't have to deal anymore. And obviously it's taken them longer because the FCA registrations have been issued temporary. So if you filed, you got a temporary, you're allowed to continue to do business, and until you either pass their registration process or you don't. All right. The fact of the matter is, since it's a UK business and series of companies that make Electroneum work has to pass this, because without it, they're not allowed to do business in the UK. And I have a feeling a lot of those guys, including Richard, would probably don't want to leave the country. So to keep Electroneum running in the Maldives or something, you know. So they've got to make this work. And so to answer your question is it a plus or a minus going forward? I think it's a real big plus, because it allows Electroneum to still exist. Because if they don't have it, there's no Electroneum, and then it's just going to turn into a community project without Electroneum. So yeah, I think it's really important. I think it's really good. And I don't think they had a choice. And here's the thing: is that all these coins are going to have a choice. Wait till this happens in the States here, and they start really. They were talking about putting some kind of process in place. UK and the EU really kind of, made it clear you have to register. And the US hasn't done that yet, but they're coming up with stuff. They're gonna find you. It's all gonna be this way, because it's all interacting. They have to do something, because it's interacting more and more on a daily basis. PayPal, MasterCard, all these Stripe, and all these other companies are starting to include, cryptocurrencies. It's gonna mix and mingle, and they have to ensure that these entry points or these gateways are controlled, that there's not funny money showing up and causing havoc. And the government, I would tend to think, would love this, because they really can't think. You got the guys in South America sending submarines full of whatever up here, and they load it up with like bricks of cash, $100 bills, and send it back down there. And you can't follow the money unless you physically got eyes on it, and you put boots on the ground to take it from them, sequester it. It's out of their control. With digital finance, a guy behind a keyboard can keep a track of everything and say,
Hey, this is Tommy in the nerd department. I see a transaction that don't look right.
And they can point it out and send it over to the guy, and guy knocks at your door and finds out where the heck the money came from. It's a lot easier. I tend to think government would love it. And taxes. Yes, they get to collect the money. So that's always important. Oh my gosh, you guys crack me up. Let's see here. Let's go to a secondary page. Let's see if I can find anything here that I thought was cool. All right. There's still a lot of questions back there, but I could be here all night. I think I'm gonna call it. Let's take a look at the screen as far as questions. Let's take a look, see what we got. All right. No, we're still not too bad here. We had that retracement back from 12 to 26. We had a high point of 37. So that's 30%. So there's definitely a nice retracement that has happened. And let's see if we can keep it up here. We're still in the green on the hourly. I'm still pretty excited about it. We don't have a severe drop here, though we have selling pressure being applied. I have a feeling this is. I don't foresee this dropping in the next few hours to back down to 20 sats. I just don't see that. I don't predict that. So I think we'll see a nice little U, and I'm hoping that we'll see this continue. All right. Hey, appreciate all you guys hanging out with me tonight, asking me questions. I had a lot of fun. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys again. See ya.